remember you and I were sitting in your studio and I did all the 170 shorts.
Yep, sure did.
And we're throwing them up on Instagram. I'll probably put one in the front of this video just for fun. But it was such a joy to be in your studio. It's so much fun. You've got great people working there. But you and I sat down and you showed me, you said, I want you to see the power of AI, artificial intelligence. And you said, look at this video I'm doing for you. You did a great demo for me. And you said, I need an old farmhouse. And all of a sudden it went poof. And then you said, well, I need 2 older women sitting on the porch. Poof. I mean, I'm going, oh my gosh. Now that was way back. Since then, things have exploded for you. Every time I go on Facebook, I'll say, hi, I'm in Montana. I'm helping a corporation understand artificial intelligence. Now I'm in New York. I've been watching you educate and help people understand what AI is all about. So you take it away. Let's talk about that.
Okay. So I'm going to do something a little weird with this. Let me think about this for a second. 1977, I'm in finance class at Appalachian State University. And the guy walks in and we have our book. And he puts the book down on the desk, kind of boom, bluntly, and he said, there's 2 ways to pass this class. He said, one way is take this book and learn the formulas, future value, present value, how to calculate a monthly payment, blah, blah, blah. Learn the formulas, put the numbers in, you'll be fine. Or go out and buy a Texas Instrument Business Analyst 2. It was a brand new calculator at the time, would do all that stuff. And here's what he said. He said, I, your teacher, don't care how you get the answer. I care that you get the answer. So calculator's a tool, book is a tool, pick the tool you want to use. And it was like, okay, I'll buy the calculator. I like easy, okay? So the reason I say that is in 93, Netscape came out and it connected all of us, you and me and the rest of the world, to the internet. We didn't know what the internet was until then. And it took a while for us to kind of get connected, but everybody today, including you and me on StreamYard, are connected via the internet, and we take it for granted. Well, November 30, 2022 was when OpenAI said, we're making available to the mere mortals of the world this thing called ChatGPT. And I didn't pay any attention to it until January of 2023. And Ford Sakes came up and he said, you need to see this. And I looked at it and it was like, this is remarkable because it's a tool. Instead of me having to go out and search Google and try to find an answer, kind of like going to the library and piecing this and so forth together, it basically does that, it pieces it together and provides solutions or answers. So I thought, I like tech. But more importantly, I like to understand how can it make my life easier. So I decided, what the heck? I'm just going to start playing with it and try to figure it out. Mostly, Jane, for me, because I just wanted to figure it out. I just wanted to see what would work. And I started using it. It was like, this is easy. I need to teach other people how to do this.
And not fear it. And I know there's a dark side to people that could use AI in not a good way, but this is what I wanted you to address, that you started out with just in your own world, and you've helped me with it, and so continue.
Well, and the fear thing, that's really interesting. Okay, let me just say this for a second. What AI is nothing more than a tool. It's a tool that, instead of having it to do the old-fashioned way, does it faster for you. Now, what is it? Well, it might write content for you. It might research something for you. It might help you with an answer to a question quicker. Like, I'll give you a simple example. I was working with a speaker friend who needed a video that had to be 50 minutes long, 50. When we finished and cut out all the flubs, it was 45 minutes and 24 seconds, and they were gone. Right. And it was like, holy crap, we are short 4 minutes. What are we going to do? And the question was, well, we could slow it down a little bit to stretch 45 to 50. That would be okay. how much do we need to slow it down? So I went to Google and said, I've got a video that's 45 minutes and 24 seconds. How much do I need to slow it down in order to be able to get it to 50 minutes? And it gave me all of these mathematical formulas. And I'm like, look at me. Do I look like a mathematician? I used to be an accountant. I wasn't a good one. I was a good speaker, not a good accountant. Okay. So I can't do the math.
Yeah.
And I went to Chat GPT and I said, I've got a video that is 45 minutes and 24 seconds. I need it to be 50 minutes. What percentage do I need to slow it down to stretch it out? And all of a sudden on the screen are all these mathematical formulas going, and it was going through it. And then at the end, it said 90.24. What? It gave me the answer. So now, Jane, you'll probably appreciate this. You've been to the studio, so you know the guys here. I went into the guy that was doing the editing, and I said, why don't you slow it down to 90.24? He said, how do you know that? I said, didn't you take math in college?
You
I didn't tell him where I got the answer. But he slowed it to 90.24, and of course, it was exactly 50 minutes. Now, the point was, it's a tool.
Yeah.
The genie's out of the bottle. The tool is out there. You can use the tool for good or bad, but that's true with any tool. You drive an automobile. So do I. An automobile is a tool. Yay. It gets us from point A to point B quickly. We get there a whole lot faster than we would if it was like 1893 on a horse and buggy. But you could also take an automobile and drive it into a crowd of protesters and kill people. So is the automobile bad? Or is the person using it got good intentions or bad intentions?
And to boil it down a little bit, we are renovating a bathroom. And no, every time I get on one of these Zoom calls, I keep talking about our bathroom. It's slow but sure. But I had the gentleman contractor sent me a text message and said, so do you want gloss? You want it flat? He said eggshell, which I've never heard of, semi-gloss. What do you want? So I got in Chat GPT and I said, I'm renovating a bathroom. What's the best kind of paint sheen to have? Is it better for glossy, semi-gloss? And I just kept asking questions. And so it said, oh, you can do gloss or semi-gloss, you know? So, and another thing I used it for, I mean, you know, I'm working on this novel, which I've got a 2-year option for the film that I told you about.
Yep.
Well, I got the contract from the, I got the contract and I thought I read it and it was gobbledygook. And I'm going, I don't get this. So I put it in Chat GPT and I said, can you please tell me what this means? Can you translate it? And then I read the translation. Now I didn't just simply go by that. And that's a point right there, because a lot of people are saying, write me a story about, you know, and I mean, this is probably bad to say, even I'm supposed to do a short eulogy for my aunt in a couple of days. Well, I wrote a eulogy and I put it in Chat GPT and I said, can you make this more heartwarming? And excuse me.
And the cat gets moved.
And it came up with some beautiful verbiage. Now, I'm not going to use that, but it's food for my thought process. So I'll use some of it because it coined something that I couldn't quite say.
Right.
I thought I needed it. That I take a sentence and go, can you make this a little stronger? Can you make this funny? Can you make this compelling, heartwarming? And then another thing I've learned to do, remove the adjectives and adverbs. Now that's just Chat GPT simple stuff. What you've now gone into is deeper, even with the audio book and what's happened with that you told me about that tool. What's the name of that tool, Chuck?
11 Labs. So 11 Labs is a voice synthesis tool. Okay. In other words, it will take your voice and replicate it. Okay.
And that's been a problem too, you know, for some people.
Right.
You're hearing about that.
So use it for good, use it for bad.
Use it for good.
Okay? It's a tool. Right. So I went in and said, gosh, I'm curious about this. That's kind of, I just like playing with it to see what happens. So I went in and read 3 or 4 paragraphs out of Second Chances. And I read it into the tool. And then I read it again because I wanted to add a little more oomph to it. Because sometimes reading a book just sounds like reading a book. It doesn't sound like you and I talking. And then I did it again, and I said, okay, now synthesize my voice. And what happened was I brought one. It was like, holy crap, that sounds like me. So I brought one of the guys in and set him down so he couldn't see what I was doing. And I said, listen, I've got something recorded here. I want you to listen to it. Something seems a little off. And I just a paragraph of text, and I just put the paragraph of text in, and it read it out loud. And he said, I don't know, sounds pretty good to me. He said, I don't hear what you're listening for. I said, well, listen carefully. I mean, something just doesn't seem quite like me. I mean, I think I'm a little off here. And it read it again. And I said, what do you think? He said, I don't know what you're after. He said, are you punking me? Because he thought I'd pull people's legs. I mean, it's just my nature. And it was like, he did not recognize it wasn't my voice, that it was a synthesized voice. Well, then the question is, well, why would you do that? Well, the answer is simple. I have a brand new book that just came out called Monday Morning Ethics. It's really about sports history and how it would be changed if people had not made unethical choices. So I could read the book and create an audio book, or I can just put the Word document of the book in and let it, in my voice, read the book. It will never get tired. It will always pronounce the consonants. It's in my voice. There'll be no lip pops or smacks or sneezes or things to edit out. And it's like, why would I not use that tool to be able to create something? Because otherwise it would take me 8 to 12 hours to probably read the book, when in reality, it will produce it. And the simplicity of doing it just makes it easy.